Have you ever delayed a decision in your MSP not because it was wrong, but because you were hoping for certainty that never showed up? Let's start with this. You don't need certainty to create well, you need presence. Because certainty and presence are not the same thing, and confusing them is where a lot of imposter syndrome quietly lives. Certainty is future oriented. It asks, will this be approved? Will I still belong? Will this protect me? See, certainty lives in outcomes. That's why it's addictive. That's why it's impossible to secure, especially in creative or leadership work. Presence is different. Presence is immediate. It asks, what's actually here right now? What does this moment or does this decision want? What choice would be truest if no one were watching? Presence lives in intention, not prediction. And here's why the anxious mind keeps chasing certainty. Anxiety isn't asking for confidence, it's asking for safety. Your nervous system says, if I could just know this won't be taken away, I could relax. But here's the catch. Certainty comes after outcomes. Creativity and leadership happen before them. So the mind stalls the process, waiting for a permission slip that never arrives. Presence bypasses the wait. Presence is not calm, it's engaged. In film, marketing, or leadership decisions, presence shows up as noticing when a cut needs to breathe instead of rush, feeling when a moment lands emotionally, not just logically, sensing when a choice is honest versus performative, trusting the moment you stop, not just when you add. Presence is when your body says yes before your brain explains why. That's not mystical, that's pattern recognition built from experience. At Chartech, this is something we see constantly with high-performing MSP owners and leaders. The ones who struggle most with imposter syndrome aren't inexperienced. They're overloaded with prediction, constantly trying to future-proof their value instead of inhabiting it. And that leads to a quiet but powerful shift when you seek certainty. You outsource authority to the future. Your work becomes defensive. You create for approval. But when you cultivate presence, authority moves back into your hands. You respond instead of anticipate. Your decisions gain coherence. Your work gains restraint. Presence doesn't guarantee safety. It guarantees integrity, and integrity travels, even when roles don't. By the way, this is exactly the kind of inner leadership work we go deep on at Chartech Academy. It's a live, in-person experience and the only MSP event held inside a multi-million-dollar MSP. We've helped thousands of MSPs for almost 20 years build leaders who don't just perform well, but stay grounded under pressure. You'll find a link in the description to register for the next academy. All right, back to it. Here's a simple presence ritual. It's 30 seconds and you don't even have to light incense. Before you start a project or when anxiety spikes mid-decision, pause. Put one hand on the desk, one on your breath, and ask silently, what's the next honest choice? Not the impressive one, not the safe one, the honest one. Then act once. One cut, one adjustment, one decision. Presence isn't a mood, it's a decision loop. And this is why presence actually reduces imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome feeds on imagined evaluation. Presence collapses the audience. And when you're truly present, there's only the work, only the choice, only the moment. The imposter has nothing to perform for. And here's the deeper layer, and this matters. Certainty says, I'm okay if this works. Presence says, I'm here while this unfolds. One is conditional identity. The other is embodied authorship. You don't need to know you'll be kept. You don't need to know you'll be praised. You don't even need to know this will last. You need to arrive fully at the work while it's yours to touch. because that's where your best instincts already live. In the next video, we're going to break down what presence actually looks like in the workplace, how it shows up in leadership conversations, decision-making, meetings, and pressure moments inside your MSP. Because presence isn't abstract, it's observable. And once you know what to look for, you can build it intentionally. And if this resonates and you want help applying this level of clarity and stability inside your MSP, there's a link in the description to schedule a success call with us at Chartech. No pitch, just a conversation about where you are, what's holding you back, and whether we can help you move forward. I'll see you in the next video.